Okay, so let me continue. So let me start with no, this one. No, that one. Oh yeah. Do you need any other thing to repeat it? I think we haven't done it yet, right?
What? I just sent you this one.
Yeah, I know, but sending me a new one, but we haven't done this one. Yeah, right.
Oh, we haven't finished it. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
okay. So we need to continue, okay? So the point is, this one it sounds like the denominator doesn't look like the same, and I think we figured out that every single time. But wait, hold on. Let me split the screen. I don't have the ability to write. Okay, so look at this one. So this one it sounds like I have 7 over x minus 3 minus 2 over x, right? So the point is, every single time you need to apply the addition or subtraction, you have to make sure that you have the same denominator. If you have the same denominator, you can do it immediately, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if I got 3 over x plus 4 over x, I get the same thing, exactly. I don't have to add up the denominator together. I need to keep it. But what I want to do is just, let me try to write x. And what I want to do is just try to add up them together. So it's going to be 7 over x. Did you get it?
Hmm.
But what if we get something that sounds like slightly different? Let me write x plus 1. So we got a problem right over there because the first denominator, it looks different. It's not the same, right? This one sounds like x, but on the other hand, we get x plus 1, right? So what should you do? You know, I have something that's called the butterfly method. I think you've learned it before. So what I want to do, just try, like, look at this one. I have x plus 1 there, but I don't have it there. So what I want to do is just try to multiply x plus 1 up and x plus 1 down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't done it yet because this one sounds like x plus 1, but I don't have x. So what should I do? I need to pick up x and try to multiply up and down. Did you get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you've noticed the exact same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me write x. This one's been multiplied with x plus 1, right?
Yeah.
But remember, this one we need to distribute it. So this one's going to be 3x plus 3 plus 4x. Get it? And the last step that I need, just try to add up 3x and 4x together, which is supposed to be 7x plus 3 over x. It's been multiplied with x plus 1. Did you get it?
Yeah.
So let me try to return back to the previous example.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your turn. What should I do?
So multiply the right side by x minus 3.
Up and down, right?
Yeah. And multiply the top left by x
You're right.
on the bottom
So this one's going to be 7x.
by x. And then
And the denominator is x multiplied with x minus 3, right?
yeah.
Okay. Look
Right,
at that.
minus 2x minus 6.
Oh, wait, hold on. You have made a mistake. This one, look at this one. This one sounds like I got the same. Let me try to. Okay. So let me try to line up. So this one sounds like -2, not 2, right? Look at this. Look at the sign, which makes sense. -2 times x, so it's going to be -2x, right?
Then it's going to be plus
Yeah.
3.
-2
Plus
times
6. Yeah.
plus 6. You're right. What is the last step?
7x minus 2x.
So it's going to be 5x
2x plus 6.
over x multiplied with x minus 3, right? I don't have to get expansion of it, just to keep it like this one, because all of a sudden it asks me to
Simplest form.
single fraction, and I've done it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try to go over something else. Here, you get this one. Has a grandfather clock in her house. The height of the Tebauer floor centimeter is given by the function h equals 20 cosine x plus 147. And where x is the angle of the hour and rotated in the sun, throws this since 12 o'clock. And he told me that, look at this one. Calculate the first two value of x of the, which is the table of the hour end is 150 centimeter above the floor. So what should I do? What h stands for? He told me that h sounds like the height, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which makes sense. He told me that this one is 150, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I need to figure out what cosine x stands for, right? So because I need to rearrange our thoughts together. So basically, he asked me about the angle, which makes sense. In this case, I have to use trigonometric function that I have until I get to the value, and then I have to use my calculator and try to write shift cosine, right? Because I need to figure out the angle. So the point is, what I want to do is just try to use the function, which is supposed to be h equals to 20 cosine x plus 147. Let me write it. 147, right? And I find out h equals to 150. 150. He told me that this one is supposed to look at this one is 150, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of writing this one, it could be replaced with 150, which equals to 20 cosine x plus 147, right?
I think I know how to do this one. Do you take away 147 each side?
Yeah, right. So take away 147 from each side. So this one's going to be 3, which equals to 20. Let me write 20 cosine x, and then I need to divide the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So cosine x equals to 3 over 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
But remember, I need to figure out what x stands for. I need to get the angle in the middle between those two hands. So let me use my calculator. Remember, I don't have to write cosine, I have to press shift cosine. 3 over 20. 3 over 20. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the answer? The answer, it sounds like 81 degree and 22 minutes. Is it clear for you?
22 minutes.
Yeah.
How do you know it's 22 minutes?
If you want to keep it just like 81 and you want to keep it just like in a decimal, that's okay. But we always use it in degree, minute, and second. But I don't care. So you have to if you want to keep it just like 81. Look at this one. You could keep it just like this.
I know. But where'd you get 22 from?
Look at that.
Yeah, decimal place. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, or you could keep it just like 81 and 0.3 if you want. Or if he asks you to round it, so you have to round up. I think it was 81 points, I think 37. So you could write it just like 81.4.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try to go a little bit further to something else. But let me remind you that every single time you get something that sounds like x squared minus 9, this one's called difference between two squared, right? If you want to factorize it, what I want to do is just try to open up two brackets. This one looks like x and x. And here we have 9, supposed to be 3 and 3. One of them positive, the other one's negative, right?
Yeah.
This one, if we have binomial, this one is binomial. They have only 2 terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if we got something else that sounds like it looks like x squared minus let me write it just like x squared minus 5x. minus 20, or let me write it 24, you know. The point is, what is the, I mean, this one stands for, this one sounds like the product. Remember, this one's product. And this one, I have to investigate the sign of the last term. The sign of the, if the sign of the last term is negative, I'm looking for two of them. The difference between them is 5, right?
Yeah.
So could you tell me what is the product of 24? I got one time.
So it'll be plus 3 minus 8.
Yeah, 3 times 8, you're right. And we have 4 times x, so I tend to use 3 times 8 because I'm looking for 2 factors. The difference between them is 5, right? It means I'm constrained. Look at this one. So the difference between them is 5, right? So which one?
Yeah,
it's gonna be x. Told me 8 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Which one of them positive and which one of them negative? The greater takes the same sign.
Negative 8, positive 3.
Yeah, perfect. Did you get it?
Yeah, no.
Okay, let me go a little bit further to this one. So he all of a sudden he asked me to simplify it, to make it much more simple. Let me write it. So x squared minus 16, this is the upper part, lower part, x squared plus x minus 20, right?
Yeah.
I think this one sounds like the same difference between two squares, right? It's going to be x and x, right?
Yeah.
What about 16?
8, negative 8.
Oh.
8 and 8.
Oh, you meant 4 and 4, right? It's 4 and 4. 4 times 4 is
16. Yeah.
Okay. One of them positive and one of them negative. Which one is positive? I don't get positive or 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go for the lower part. You know, I'm looking for 2 factors. The difference between them is 1, right? So what do you think?
Yeah.
And the product. No, I got 1 times 20, 4 times 5, and 2 times 10.
4 times 5.
Yeah, 4 times 5. Let me open up 2 brackets. X and x, 4 and 5. Okay, which one of them positive and which one of them negative?
4 is negative, 5 is positive.
Yeah. So I think I got the same bracket up and down. So we need to cancel each other out, right?
Yeah.
So we'd end up with x plus 4 divided by x plus 5, right?
Yeah.
So keep it like this one because I don't have the ability to make it sound like much more simple. Much more. So just keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do it again or understand it?
Understand it.
Okay. So this one, you know, I've been asked to simplify 2 sine squared x plus 2 cosine squared x. I've noticed something, right? So both of them, they have the same coefficient, right?
Yeah.
But I need to tell you something. I don't know if you still remember it or not, but let me remind you about something that you have studied something before. It's called the Ionic circle, right?
Yeah.
If we have something like this one, let me do it as quick as possible. This one sounds like a circle, right? What does it look like? This one sounds like the x-axis, and this one is y-axis, right? This one, it's really simple triangle. Looks like this one, but you know, I got something that's really interesting. This one sounds like right angle triangle, right?
Yeah.
Let me assume this part is theta. You know, that's just a Greek letter. We use it when we try to refer to it that we have an angle. So we call it a theta. Okay, the point is, you know, I have a couple sides. I really care about it. You know, I told you that I'm trying to illustrate to you something that's called the Ionic circle. You know, the point is, the word unit, the word unit refers to the hypotenuse is 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it look like? This one sounds like just a bar of x-axis. So let me assume this part is x. And what about this one? This one's parallel to y, so this one's going to be y, right? I'm trying to convince you, to prove something, okay?
Yeah.
So this one sounds like a right angle triangle, which makes sense. I have the ability to apply the Pythagorean theorem. It's Pythagorean theorem, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell me? So, Pythagorean theorem tells us the square of the hypotenuse equals to the sum of the squares of two other sides, right?
Yeah.
So let me write x squared plus y squared equals to 1. I really like it, right? So, okay. Could you help me to figure out what is sine theta? Let me write it there. So what is sine theta? You know, sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. What is the opposite? Y over 1, right? It'll be
Yeah.
1. Right? So, which makes sense every single time we have a y. So y is going to be the same thing of sine theta, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do the same thing to cosine. I'm trying to figure out what's cosine theta. What's cosine theta stands for? Adjacent.
Oh, it's y? X.
No.
X. X.
Right. So let me write x over 1. So it's going to be x, right?
Yeah.
Those two, equation, or those two formulas, I really like them. So, which makes sense. Get this formula, x squared plus y squared equals to 1, right?
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And instead of using x, this one could be replaced with sine theta, or sine x. But let me write sine squared x, because this one's squared, right?
Yeah.
Plus, what about y?
Cos square x.
Equals to 1. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So look at this one. I have 2 sine squared x plus 2 cosine squared x. I found out something. So I have the ability to pick up 2 as a common factor, right?
Yeah.
So let me write it. Let me cancel. So it's going to be sine squared x plus cosine squared x, right? From just a little bit of time, I proved that sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals to 1, right? So it's going to be 2 times 1, which equals to 2. Is that clear for you? Or do it again?
Yeah, it's clear.
I think it's obvious. Okay. Here we have cuboid. The length is x plus 7 meter. And this one is, it's just x meter. The height is 2 meter. And he told me that the volume is 45. What is the volume stands for? The volume sounds like this one depends on trying to get the volume to multiply 3 dimensions together, right? Length times width times. Let me write it. Length times width times height, right? So, by the way, if you try to take a look, you'll find out that we have, the value of the volume is 45. So let me write it. 45 there, which equals to the length. Where's the length? I don't care which one is length and which one's width. All of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one sounds like x plus 7. It's been multiplied with x multiplied with 2, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I need to distribute it, right? This one sounds like quadratic function, which makes sense. This one's going to be, let me rearrange it. So it's going to be 2x. It's been multiplied with x plus 7, which equals to 45, right?
Yeah.
So this one, it's going to be 2x squared, right? And 2x times 7, what is 2x times 7?
14x.
Plus 14x, which equals to 45, right? No, this one's kind of proving we are trying to prove this one, right? Which makes sense. I need to move 45 from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. Remember that we need to change the sign to as positive. We need to turn it into negative, right?
Yeah.
So tell me. 2x squared plus 14x
minus 45.
Minus 45, which equals to 0. I already proved it. Right?
Yeah.
I guess the same. Okay, the other one wants from you to continue doing that. So in this case, we need to figure out what x stands for, which makes sense. We need to get the two solutions that we have, because this one looks like a quadratic equation, which makes sense. I have a couple of solutions, but I recommend to use the general formula. I really like to use it if you have something like this one. This one looks horrendous. So let me tell you that what A stands for, and what B stands for, and what C stands for.
Yeah. A is 2.
And what B stands for?
14. C is minus 45.
Yeah, right. So what is the general formula?
So it's negative B.
Yeah, positive or negative.
Square root discriminant
divided by 4AC.
Divided by 2 times A.
You're right. So what I want to do, where's B?
So 14, negative 14. Square root 14 squared.
Minus 4 times A, 2 times
negative 45.
Multiplied by 2 times A times 2 times 2. Okay, so let me end up the meeting. Try to rejoin from the assembly.
Okay.
Okay.